The 1980s was a revolutionary time for at-home television. With the growing popularity of cable, network television such as ABC, NBC, and CBS lost their monopoly on the television industry. By 1985, more than 60 million Americans were subscribed to a cable service, and Americans were watching more TV than ever before. Increase in television channels meant a greater diversity in the genres and types of television people watched. The VCR and VHS tapes became increasingly popular after Paramount Pictures decreased the price from $90 to around $20. This also meant that Americans could record shows to watch whenever they wanted. MTV was also created during the 80s, which changed the way people listen to music. With all that said, here are some defining television shows of the 1980s. Miami Vice was about drugs and human trafficking that was handled by the Vice Division of the Miami PD. Its heavy integration of contemporary music set the standard for the cinematic filming style of TV.
You were my partner. I had you and Donna and the kids over to dinner, 20 or 30 times. Thanksgiving, birthdays. I trusted you. God, I trusted you, you bastard! I trusted you! I trusted you!
The Oprah Winfrey Show was the first talk show of its kind to gain mainstream success. It also gained immense critical acclaim since the host was a female African American. The show also enticed viewers by offering prizes for attending live shows. Baywatch became one of the most heavily watched and most popular shows of all time. It struggled heavily in its first season, but was renewed and became one of the most watched shows internationally due to its heavy focus on heroics and attractive male and female leads.
You have been stung by a highly poisonous man of war. Now bend over!
Don't worry, I'm a certified paramedic.
And I'm a lifeguard. You won't feel a thing.
Oh, come on, it couldn't have hurt that bad.
The Cosby Show broke barriers in television for African Americans. Its depiction of an upper-middle-class African-American family with a working mother and a doctor for a father was revolutionary for television of the time. It was the most famous family comedy of the 1980s and launched Bill Cosby's career as a stand-up comedian.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you something, Elvis. You see, I am not serving Dr. Huxtable, okay?
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that goes on in a restaurant. Now, I'm going to bring him a cup of coffee, just like he brought me a cup of coffee this morning. And that, young man, is what marriage is made of. It is give and take 50-50. And if you don't get it together and drop these macho attitudes, you are never going to have anybody bringing you anything, anywhere, any place, anytime, ever.
The Simpsons first aired in 1989. It led to the 1990s boom of animated primetime shows such as Family Guy and South Park.
No. Change the channel. No. Change the channel. No. Change the channel. No. Hey! Turn that back on!
Who's the Boss is famous for reversing traditional gender roles. It depicts a male working as a housekeeper with his daughter for a rich executive businesswoman.
Whoa. That'll clear your sinuses. A few more peppers.
I just talked to Ted and Elaine. They are so excited about dinner on Friday night. Have you decided on the menu yet?
Well, I'm still experimenting, Angela, but we're definitely going with Chinese. You know, it'll be a perfect way to kick off your new business venture with Ted in Beijing.
Oh, it's my Kung Pao chicken. See here. Oh.
Seinfeld was the first show since Monty Python's Flying Circus to be described as postmodern. It did not have a distinct plotline but focused more on superficial conflict and was iconic for its comedy and slogans.
Nothing for you!
I better get going.
It's been a big
big misunderstanding here.
Yeah.
We did that whole thing for your benefit. We knew you were eavesdropping. That's why my friend said all that. It was on purpose. We're not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
These were some of the most memorable commercials from the 80s. Diet Coke. Dunkin' Donuts.
It pays off in the freshest, most delicious donuts you've ever tasted.
Someday, young Frederick, you'll thank me.
I wanna grow up, 'cause baby,
Toys R Us.
I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. More gays, more toys. Oh boy, I wanna be a Toys R Us kid.
Kool-Aid.
Is the one for kids. Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix.
Our political piece is Platoon, directed by Oliver Stone. This movie was significant because it was directed by a Vietnam War veteran and was loosely based on his experiences in the Vietnam War. It was said to be the most accurate depiction of war at the time, which was different than previous films of the genre that glorified battles during Vietnam. As infantryman Chris Taylor makes his way through Nam, he realizes he is an expendable soldier, and he must make a choice whether to follow the morals of Staff Sergeant Barnes or Sergeant Elias.
He's not like the other guys.
The romance movie we picked is Pretty in Pink, directed by Howard Deutsch, with a screenplay written by John Hughes. Andy, played by Molly Ringwald, is a poor outcast in her Chicago high school. When she is asked out by a rich, popular boy, Blaine, her best friend Ducky is enraged with her new relationship. Ducky secretly has a massive crush on Andy and wishes to win her heart. The story tackles problems with high school social status and what it's like to be the weird kid.
You buy everything, Steph. You couldn't buy her, though. That's what's killing you, isn't it? Steph.
Listen.
That's it, Steph. She thinks you're shit. And deep down, you know she's right.
The comedy film we picked is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, directed by John Hughes. The film follows high school senior Ferris Bueller, played by Matthew Broderick, as he ditches school for the 9th day in the semester. He repeatedly breaks the fourth wall to tell the audience his techniques about how to avoid the principal and his sister, who attempt to foil his day playing hooky.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Our horror film is Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by Wes Craven. This movie terrified people in the 1980s and starred Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, a disfigured child murderer who comes after lustful teens in their dreams. This film was particularly horrifying due to the idea that eventually you will fall asleep, and eventually Freddy will get you. It was also Johnny Depp's debut feature film role.
It is now 12 midnight, and this is station KRGR leaving the air.
Our social commentary piece is The Breakfast Club, directed by John Hughes.
What's that?
The Breakfast Club brought together people from different facets of high school society and revealed how people aren't exactly as they appear. This coming-of-age story reveals what high school is like for all different kinds of people, and displays how one cannot be simply defined by how others see them. This is displayed perfectly at the end of the film, when the characters leave a note for their teachers stating how they are alike in one way or another.
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain, and an athlete,
And a basket case. A princess.
and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.
Don't. There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
Number 10, Ghostbusters. So, I guess fighting a giant marshmallow is a pretty difficult job.
I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Think they're seeing ghosts. And they call these bozos who conveniently show up to deal with the problem with a fake electronic light show.
Everything was fine with our system until the power grid was shut off by Dickless here.
They caused an explosion.
Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Number 9, Top Gun. So is this movie really about flying planes, or is it just about how sexy Tom Cruise is?
I'd like to keep this handy for close encounters.
I heard that.
Number 8, Aliens. Xenomorphs are the scariest shit of all time. And if you don't think so, watch the movie.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Number 7, Back to the Future. So this has got to be the most famous movie about incest that was ever created. Number 6, Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger gets paid more for each word in this movie than the average American gets paid in a year.
I'm a friend of Sarah Connor. I was told that she's here. Could I see her, please?
No, can't see her. She's making a statement.
Where is she?
Look, it may take a while. If you want to wait, there's a bench over there.
I'll be back.
You're reading a magazine. You come across a full-page nude photo of a girl.
Is this testing whether I'm a replicant or a lesbian, Mr. Deckard?
Just answer the questions, please.
Number 5, Blade Runner. Also known as Discount Star Wars.
All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain.
Number 4, Raging Bull. All I have to say about Raging Bull is it's directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Robert De Niro.
I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it. It was you, Charlie. It was you, Charlie. How you doing, Jake?
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Number 3, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones is the only badass to have ever carried a man purse. phone. Number 2, E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
E.T. phone home.
One thing I never understood about this movie is why do the kids keep pedaling after they're already flying? Before we reveal our top pick, here are some films that were great but didn't make the cut. And number 1, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. This is the only Star Wars movie where the premise isn't blow up the big ship.
I love you.
I know.
We're going to play the next scene for you in full. And for all of you who think you have bad parents, at least your father didn't abandon you at birth, kill your mother, and then chop off your hand.
There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy.
I'll never join you!
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough! He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
No. That's not true. That's impossible!
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
We hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.